What is up, guys? So I'm in the garage. Who would have thought? So I didn't film yesterday and I apologize for not dropping a video, but I was just in one of those moods. I just didn't really feel like filming. Everyone has those days, it's whatever. Nothing really big happened yesterday, but to get you guys up to speed, we'll do a little flashback to show you what did happen yesterday. So the first thing is, I went to Logan Steel and dropped off a few parts. Found Tone Bone out here. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
So we're going down to the powder coating booth. We're about to drop off the parts. Maybe pick up some more parts. Oh shoot, that was fast. Well, Steffi just drove right in. That's good. You're good right there. Alright, Steffi's messy car.
Stop!
Oh! There we go. For the refresh. So we're gonna do these parts in a nice silk satin black. It's like a deep flat black. It's super classy looking. There we go. We're gonna get this crusty subframe, sway bar support links, whatever you want to call them. It's gonna be gorgeous. I'm excited. Huge shout out again to Logan Steel and Tone Bone.
Yep.
Get to work.
Yeah, no.
Nice and brand new looking, just like this soon enough. So like I said, we picked a really cool black. It's not a gloss black. We're going with like a very, very deep matte black, which I think is gonna look really classy in there, and I'm super excited to get the parts done. So huge out again to Logan Steel. They always hook me up. They're right here in Meriden, super cheap. If you guys want to have any project powder coating, anything with steel, anything, they got you. Hit them up. But we're gonna head back to the shop now and get a few things done on the build-off car. Okay, so we have that to look forward to. I'm very excited for that. That's gonna look amazing once that's done. Another thing that's really cool that happened was I got my 5-speed swap for the Z. Now, for the engine swap, it's been kind of determined that the best way to do it is to basically use a stock Z32 transmission. One, for fitment reasons. Two, because the Z32 trans is way stronger than the SR trans. My buddy locally actually had a whole swap for sale and he hooked it up super cheap, so I can't thank him enough. And he brought it down yesterday, so I got myself a nice NA transmission that I'm gonna clean up a little bit. He gave me the shifter bracket and the plate and then the center console that probably won't even fit, but I'll take the boot off of it. And he hooked it with an OEM manual drive shaft, which is sick. Do want to upgrade to a one-piece aluminum drive shaft eventually, but for budget and time reasons, the OEM shaft is perfect. And I also managed to throw the clutch pedal in last night, which is all fantastic. Now, I kind of hate myself a little bit, but I also don't really care. So this plate right here, with the seam seal around it, I guess if you take the seam seal off and draw out like 2 spot welds, a plate comes off and there's already holes in the firewall for the clutch pedal. But instead I drilled them out and it's perfectly fine. I just have this ring now, but it looks great to me. I managed to snake the clutch pedal in last night. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but it also wasn't too bad. And as you can see, I have a big boy pedal on the left. Finally, it's kind of weird to see in this thing, and I actually had to cut my brake pedal quite a bit to make it fit. So on automatics, the brake pedal is actually that wide. My buddy actually gave me a brake pedal for a manual. It's a pain in the ass to change, so I decided just to take the rubber off of the manual one, cut this, and just slip it on, and it fit perfect. So we're all set now. It's a little crooked because the booster's not in, but I have all 3 pedals, which means I can now put the master on, run the clutch line, I can put my booster back in and get all that set. Most of my parts come in early next week, so we have a few days of literally hangover time that I can use to get the suspension ready, the brake lines, and all the little stuff like the trim pieces here and there. It's not the most interesting stuff to watch, but you'll see it come together with little tricks and tips, and I'm very excited. Bear with me, we'll try and get out of the garage this week. I know you guys get a little antsy when I'm in the garage every day because it gets repetitive, but I'm sorry, we will do something fun this week. But in the meantime, I still want to grind on this. I'm not complaining at all because I'm really happy with my choice, but since this is an engine swap, it's gonna take me a little bit longer to get the engine in there and running because it is a lot more work to get an SR to work in a Z than it is for a 240 because his car already came SR'd, so it's gonna drop in, plug in, and it's gonna run very easily. Since I have more work, I need to stay ahead of him so we can end at the same time. So I'm not trying to, you know, race and feel the need to get ahead of him. I just need that little head start to get caught up to the engine swap, if that makes sense to you guys. So, but continuing on, sorry for rambling, let's get caught up for today. So First thing is I wrinkle blacked the booster because I wrinkle black every freaking booster. I don't know why. I love the paint. It's a little corny looking, but it was all rusted, so I prepped and sprayed it. Throw the booster in, and we're also gonna throw the clutch master in and get that all set. So before I throw the booster in, I messed up a little bit and I accidentally primered the cover around the steering shaft. As you can see right here, it's all gray and nasty. So I taped it up and I'm actually gonna brush some black paint on it. All right, might as well call me Picasso. That is so much better. I can live with that. Be super careful with this one just because there is some brake fluid still dripping, and brake fluid will really eat your paint, especially freshly sprayed paint like this. So I taped it up, I had a rag, I was very cautious. I think we're all set, but that is all hooked up now. All right, we're jumping ahead a little bit. So I want to get my rain tray on, make the bay look complete, and it's pretty gross. The paint's really faded, there's a lot of pitting on it. So about 30 minutes of my time and just sat here and Scotch Brighted all the impurities out, give it a nice surface for the paint to stick to. This gives it like a nice, you know, satin finish. So, and this adheres to plastic very well. The best is to use filler primer because it'll fill in this little pitting stuff, but I don't have it. I think it'll look fine with this. So let's send it. I'm sorry, I feel like today's video is very boring, but we gotta bang out the little stuff. The little stuff is what brings the whole thing together. So I figured you guys would rather see it than not, so I'm gonna film it. But definitely need to get out of the garage, I need to take a break. We've been grinding like crazy on this bay. We'll go do something fun later this week to refresh myself. But in the meantime, we'll just keep going with the little stuff. It all adds up. When it comes to building a car, there is 1.5 million little things that need to go in place. And that's what we're doing now. So this paint, for anyone that does want to try this paint, I would really suggest the primer. It says it doesn't need it, but for something like this, I would definitely use a filler primer. It doesn't really cover much. RJ, what are you doing here?
You told me to come down here and help film after work. There was nobody here, and there was like 8 people. I could have gone home and changed and got out of my work clothes and.
Those are your work clothes?
Yeah. See.
Oh. Hey DJ.
What up, Jimmy?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Well, I quickly put on the rain tray. Quickly. Very quickly.
I've been here for 1 hour and 20 minutes. You just finished putting it on.
Okay. Well, I had to glue the trim back on it. I had to find push tabs, and it came out great. It looks fantastic, doesn't it, RJ?
It does look very good.
Thank you. So that looks beautiful. Now I have to do the wipers, and these things are butt, so I have to sand the crap out of them, and we're gonna paint them. Sound like a plan?
Why don't you just buy new ones?
Boy, it looks like some dude in Japan took nail polish to this thing and just splotched it all over. Definitely time for an upgrade. More exciting things. We're doing more painting of small pieces. So we're doing them very professionally. Sand them smooth, primer them, sand the primer smooth, then hit it with paint. DJ's preheating the part because it's 35 degrees in here. Thank you, DJ.
One step.
Bless it.
And now it has herpes.
This is my professional drying booth. And you stand. If it fits, it sits, man. You know how it goes.
Incredible. No expense spared for utilities and tools.
Green boys. It's in Lawrenceburg. Oh, it's not terrible.
Alright, well the other one sprayed like, but don't judge me for spray painting this. This trim stuff is actually pretty strong and I trust it, so it's not bad. Cutting enough, the wipers are on, so that's all complete and that looks fire. I'm really happy about that. The plug that used to come out right here and go across the top of the firewall, that is for the wiper motor. You could actually run it inside if you zip tie it up close so it doesn't hit the linkage, and stretch the harness just enough to run it through the drain. You want to electrical tape it too because water does go through here. You don't want to short, so make sure you do that if you're going to do it. But it sure worked out. The little rattle can actually looks pretty good on here. Nice little refresh. Sitting over here burping. Nice. The few things I added today does look amazing, so I'm happy about that. Now I apologize the lack of content for the day. I had a few plans today and they kind of all fell through. When you're building a car, think someone's outside doing a burnout. But when you're building a car, you need a lot of parts, and there's a lot of parts dependent on other parts. And when you don't order them in time, you don't have them, you kind of screw yourself, and that's my predicament right now. So, but I figured you guys would like a video on the small stuff other than nothing at all. I always feel guilty releasing a boring video. I'm sorry guys, I always complain, or whatever. But hoping to get the subframe and sway bar back from Logan tomorrow, which means we can really throw this together. But I know it's been a talky video and I apologize, but so the next couple days I'm a little low on parts to basically get more done. If there's anything you guys would like to see in general on the channel, like if you want to see some 240 stuff, some Resi stuff, or some FD stuff, or some general other things that we could do on the channel, let me know and I'll pull out a good video for you guys. Got to buy propane today and it's been freezing all day. I just want to go home and be warm, so you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content because things will pick up soon again, I swear. And I will see you guys very shortly. So like I said, we picked a really cool black. It's not a gloss black. We're going with like a very, very deep matte black, which I think is gonna look really classy in there, and I'm super excited to get the parts done. So huge out again to Logan Steel. They always hook me up. They're right here in Meriden, super cheap. If you guys want to have any project powder coating, anything with steel, anything, they got you. Hit them up. But we're gonna head back to the shop now and get a few things done on the build-off car. Okay, so we have that to look forward to. I'm very excited for that. That's gonna look amazing once that's done. Another thing that's really cool that happened was I got my 5-speed swap for the Z. Now, for the engine swap, it's been kind of determined that the best way to do it is to basically use a stock Z32 transmission. One, for fitment reasons. Two, because the Z32 trans is way stronger than the SR trans. My buddy locally actually... What is up, guys? So I'm in the garage. Who would have thought? So I didn't film yesterday and I apologize for not dropping a video, but I was just in one of those moods. I just didn't really feel like filming. Everyone has those days, it's whatever. Nothing really big happened yesterday, but to get you guys up to speed, we'll do a little flashback to show you what did happen yesterday. So the first thing is, I went to Logan Steel and dropped off a few parts. There we go. For the refresh. So we're gonna do these parts in a nice silk satin black. It's like a deep flat black. It's super classy looking. There we go. We're gonna get this crusty subframe, sway bar support links, whatever you want to call them. It's gonna be gorgeous. I'm excited. Huge shout out again to Logan Steel and Tomone.
Yep.
Get to work.
Yeah, no.
Nice and brand new looking, just like this soon enough. Found Tomebone out here. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
So we're going down to the powder coating booth. We're about to drop off the parts. Maybe pick up some more parts. Oh shoot, that was fast. Well, Steffi just drove right in. That's good. You're good right there. Alright, Steffi's messy car.
Stop.
Oh,